Welcome to Add Spark to your classroom with Adobe Spark. If you've never seen Adobe Spark before, you are in for a treat. So I cannot wait for Ruth to jump in. So let me go through a couple of announcements. Number one, you do get a CEU/CLU certificate, but only if you're watching us live. So if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, unfortunately, you don't get a certificate, but you do get the resources. So right under this video, you'll see some words right under my name. That's the description. So if you look in the description, if you click show more, you'll get the resources for this session. So who am I? Who's this lady that's talking to you? I'm Dr. Desiree Alexander. I'm the founder, CEO of Educator Alexander Consulting. And all that means is I travel the globe now virtually, teaching teachers, mentoring teachers, doing all that good stuff, going to schools, doing trainings. I love it. So here's how you can contact me. Also, I'm on Twitter at Educator Alex and all other social media at Educator Alexander. If you are watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Click that big red button. And then, of course, click the little bell so you can know when I post new videos. Well, Desiree, what do you have coming up? Today, we have two in the same day. We have Mastering Mindfulness for Educators. If you haven't registered for that just yet, go ahead and do that and come on back at 11 o'clock to, if you haven't seen Tanya present or her Zumba classes and all that stuff, you're going to love it. And then we have two next weekend. Like, you're about to fall in love with Ruth if you're not in love with her already. So you're going to want to come back next weekend and talk a little bit more about Adobe Spark when it comes to graphics in the math classroom. And if you're like, Desiree, I'm not in the math classroom, that's not fair. You can still come. I promise. Okay. And then we're going to have the amazing Sarah coming back to us to talk about the intro to We video. She doesn't need any introduction. She's with us almost every weekend and we love her and we want more. So there you go. And then we have two brand new sessions for you. So on Saturday, December 5th, we have Coffee and TPD with me, adjusting your ELA lessons in a 4x4 world for high school teachers. Come and check that out. And then this one we haven't even announced yet, so you're getting the first look at this. Writing, coding, and sharing for all grades with elementary. And I have to say all grades because we want to make sure you know that elementary is for all grades. But it's all about storytelling and your students creating electronic books, and it helps them with the writing, and then they can code the books if they want to make the characters move. Like, it is such an amazing product. You do not want to miss this one. So first look. You're lucky. And then, of course, we have SD20 coming up, and I will be a featured voice at SD20. So these are all of my sessions that I'll be doing. And, of course, they have a million more, so you can check that out. All of them are at edalex.net/events. At the end, of course, we will do the evaluation. If you're like, ooh, I'm going to sneak and do it now. You can't. It's not active. I'll send out that link 15 minutes before, and that is when you can do that evaluation if you are watching us live. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so Ruth can share hers, because that's who you came to see, right? I'm just small potatoes. I understand. That's okay. I still love you. So I'm going to stop speaking and let Ruth take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Adobe Spark. How many try to find something new to add to their classroom? Something that's going to go across everything. Adobe Spark is your new tool. It does graphics, it does collages, it does websites, but you can also do posters and flyers and add video. It's the new thing that's actually kind of cool, and you can use it across anything, which is actually where I find that people are like, I'm not going to use this. Oh, yes, you are. I promise. So Adobe Spark is spark.adobe.com. And I have to find you the link, but they're giving away free licenses for teachers if your school does not have Adobe, and I will find it for you. It's one of their giveaways right now. I just can't find it. But Adobe Spark, it's Spark Post. They call it Post, Page, and Video. So this is the graphics part. So here in the graphics part, let me move you guys out of the way a little bit. Hold on so I can get to it. Okay. So in the graphics part, when you log in, you're going to see a screen something similar to this. And it shows you can make an Instagram story, you can do Facebook posts, you can pick whatever size you want your graphic to be, right? So, and the fun part about this is right now this is set for pixels. So if you want your students to figure out, pixels, how many pixels is in an inch, give them pixels, right? But you can also have them switch it over to inches. So, this is going to be an 8x8. I usually try to keep mine square. Do you want it to be popular, social? Are they going to print it? Is it standard? Is it custom, right? So once you get in to where it is, you can add. I click add, I can do text, photo, an icon, or a logo, right? So if I want to add text, I just click and I can click any kind of template. So take my pick, right? Or I can start from scratch and add my text. Right? Here's where I'm going to change my font. And they have all kinds of different fonts. I mean, we all know the kids all like to choose their fonts, right? So I like to do something funny. Okay. I can change my colors. I like my purples, right? And notice I've got my foreground is white. My background is purple. This is always nice because you're teaching your children, they're learning the four in the background, right? And you can teach them palettes so that they're learning their different colors. This also has the eyedropper. So if you put a picture in, one of the things I like to do sometimes is put a picture in and then pick up one of the colors in the picture. So that's where the eyedropper comes in. Right, so after I finish my text, I'm going to move it where I want it. And this is the alignment. This is the size. This is the shape, right? I can add shadow to it if I want. Right, so there's all kinds of different things that you can do with this. When I'm finished, I click out of it. I can go and I can now change my design if I want. I can brand it. I can change my colors. So here's where I can change my template colors. So they have colors that are already built in. And when you choose your colors, so now I changed my colors. One of the nice things with this too is you can also, if you're into design, get the RGB colors. So you get the codes. I do a lot of the background stuff. So I get the colors. You can change your backgrounds and all, right? You can resize it. I can add animations. And now you have libraries. This is brand new. So I can add libraries. So I can, because I have Adobe Creative Cloud, I have libraries. So I've got stamps and postcards and different things that I've added because I've started to do different graphics for planners. I've been making planners. So I've got different things here that I can add in if I wanted to, right? So it all connects up. Come on. I can add photos. They have Adobe Stock. They have libraries. I can connect it to my Google Photos or my Google Drive or my Dropbox. So you can have your students bring in any of their photos. Okay. You can also find free photos. Okay, this is where I like to, let me see, I don't know. Let me see, let's do this, right? Notice what it's going to give me are the ones that are able to be used, right? So they're, now the interesting thing was, did you notice that when I put that picture in there, you noticed how my backgrounds changed to accommodate that colors, right? This now has a background remover. So if you bring a picture in and it has a background and you want to take the background out, you can have it remove the background colors. Okay, sometimes you get the pictures that have the white background and you don't want it in there. That's where this comes in. You can change the crop, you can crop it, you can change the shape, you can do the enhancements. Okay, so you can do all this different things. You can replace the picture. Okay, so one of the things that I like to use this for, and I'm going to go back to my projects. Okay, I've got a bunch of different projects here, right? I've done agendas, I've done logos. Here's a logo that I created. So think about the different things you can do with your students, right? Look at the logos, right? So think about, in your classrooms, how you're going to be able to change this up, right? The other thing that I've done with this is, I'm going to give you a sneak peek, is I've used this in a math classroom. Right now I am doing 10th and 11th grade math. And I've used this in the math classroom. And what I've done is I've used it for making posters. So what they have to do is they have to find their favorite recipe for a cookie. But now they have to do it as a single recipe, but then they have to double or triple it. So now they have to figure, okay, it's a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and then they have to triple it. So now we're moving them into their fractions. But I also change up the pictures, and that there's different kind of things, right? I've brought in some other things like this. This one is one of my certification pictures. And so we had to change out the picture from the background so that I could put mine in. So this is where you do the background remover, right? You can remove your background. The opportunities with this are endless, right? You can also do branding. So if you wanted, you could have your students do a brand, a class brand. One of the things that I like to do with my students is think about your class and what did you want them to brand? What would you brand your class as? So, maybe you want to pick something here. You want to upload an image. Have them think of something creative for your classroom, right? I've noticed lately too that they've added now presentations and slideshows. So now they can do presentations and slideshows in these. Notice underneath this says web page. So this now moves into the web page portion. So in the web page portion, they can do slideshows. So now I'm going to add, where's the, I don't know. Right. You can change your settings, easy. You can show your header footer. You can have it do the Google Analytics, which is kind of nice. Now I can have it add at the bottom, the plus sign, quick and easy, right? I can have it add a picture. I can have it add, I got you guys here at the bottom. Hold on, I'll move you guys up a minute, right? This is how easy it is to have your students add things, right? I wanted to add a button, a video, a photo grid, or maybe I want to add a photo grid. Now, if you're in a CTE classroom and you're using Lightroom or Photoshop, it's quick and easy that you can connect to your Creative Cloud or your Lightroom, and you can have them bring those pictures over. So now you're doing a presentation based off of their work, and it's already here. The nice thing with this is if your school has a subscription to Adobe, it keeps it right in the tenant, so that only if you give out that URL can somebody outside see it. If you don't give out that URL, then nobody outside can see it. So it keeps it private. Okay. So now I'm going to click Adobe Stock, and I'm just going to find, I don't know. Let's see if I can find a lighthouse. Okay. Once again, I'm going to pull lighthouse. I live at the beach. Because I don't have a subscription, it's going to say Adobe Stock on it. Now I can make it smaller. I can resize it. I can edit my grid, right? So now I'm going to save it. I can add a caption. Right? I can edit the grid. So if I want to notice, because I only put one picture in, it didn't show you the grid. Oh, wait, I see. Okay. Yes. How do you see your students using this? And what subject do you teach that you can use this? Right. So let's add another one. Right. Come on. I'm going to add another picture here. Bring her in. There you go. Double clicker brings in the second picture, right? I'm going to double clicker. I'm going to bring in the third picture. So now you can have them do reflections, have them, do their work. They can scan in, or Adobe has Microsoft has Office Lens. Adobe has a app that is similar. They can take a picture of it. They can upload their own work. So now you can use this to demonstrate their work. So you can highlight their work, right? So now I'm going to go down to my Adobe here. I've done my grid. I'm going to click the Save button. So now this is my grid, right? I can always click my plus sign, and I can add text. Right? And that's what's so nice about this, right? So I can, you can do it as a glide show so that it'll automatically glide through. I can change it into split layouts. I can add a button. And then you can link it, where do I want it to go? And this is, because that's where I live. And I can save it. It's not a URL. All right, hold on. Now notice, because I didn't have that as a URL, it wouldn't let me, right? Now my button takes you to that website. Okay. You can also go here and you can change your themes. Okay. Notice I do the purples. I like purples. I can change Spark themes. So now I can turn this into Storybook. Sorry. So you can change your themes. And the thing with this is, if you can pick a theme, make your students choose a theme that's already here so that you kind of take away a little bit of their creativity, but you don't take away their creativity because they can still add to this, right? So now I created this, you know, couple of slides here. I've created a button. So this button takes, you know, they can take it to where you want it to go, right? I can add, you know, text, so some more text. So you can use this as, you know, this is my place to write my descriptions. When I'm finished, I can present it, and this is how it presents. Right. The other thing with this is if you notice here, it also says video. So when I click video, I can record a video. Oh, let me move you guys out of the way a little bit. I can embed a video, or I can, if I've made a Spark video, I can embed a Spark video. And I know I have a Spark video in here. Hold on. Share, publish. When you publish it, you get the link. So now I publish it. I update the link. When you make changes, you have to republish it or update the link. Which is also nice because it still keeps it private. And look, you can also share it directly to your Google Classroom or your Microsoft Teams. I copy my link and I put it in here and I save it. It's not, now notice that wasn't a video and it tells me, hey, this isn't a video, right? If you're using Canvas, notice how that said embed. In Canvas, you can use your embed. Okay, and notice the other thing with this too, let me show you here with this. You can see what kind of a project it is too when you click on it, because on the upper left-hand side here, this told you this was a Spark page. So this was a Spark, the page, the website portion. So it's a journal, it's a website, that's what this was. And see how easy it is to move around? This you can use with any age. So we've got kindergartners using this, believe it or not. Okay, I honestly don't know that I have any video in here, believe it or not. No, most of mine are all posts, believe it or not. Okay, but you can put a video in here and it'll link. But it's interesting because this knows whether or not you put a video in. And you can also have them record their own video and add it in. And then you put the share button and you can share it. You can also, if you want them to collaborate, they can click this button and they can collaborate. So I can add somebody to my classroom and I can have them work with me. So now you can have group projects and you can have your students working together. I've seen Adobe Spark used for not just presentations, but book reports. I've seen it used for, you know, different things that you would normally do on paper. Okay, so those are the different things that this one has been used for. Now, when I go back to the plus sign, right? So you can do a collage, you can do a web page, and then you can go to the video. Now the video portion, you can use this obviously for anything that you're going to use video for in your classroom. Okay. One of the videos that I have done with my students is talk to a person in time. And I have done, right, see? Promote an idea, tell what happened, a journey, show and tell. Okay, so they give you all kinds of different ideas. Okay. So here they give you quick tips to get you started. You can watch picture in picture. Click I'm ready. So now I want to record a video. I click the button, and I gotta move you guys out of the way again. I know I'm on the small screen here. Okay, so now it's recording my audio that goes with my video. It also shows you down here at the bottom how much time it is, because press and hold while speaking. The nice part about this too is this also has an app, so your students can use it on their phones or their tablets. Notice it says keep it short, right? So you don't want it to be super long, right? If I want to do video, right, I can bring a video in. I know I don't have any videos on here. I don't. One of the projects that I do is a person in time, and I've done FDR. And with FDR, what I do is I send them out to the FDR Library, and FDR Library, they have some of the clips that they can use. All of the clips, if it says, let me go here, Cliff, FDR Library. So with the FDR Library, you can go into the archives. And I've emailed them, so I know I can tell you what, okay, that you can do research. They can go into the collections. And in the collections, they have videos, audio and film. So what I've done with my students is I've had them go in here, and they can go into the films. And in the films, there are some here that say used by permission of donor. Those are the ones that they cannot use, right? Others don't say it. So those are the ones that they can use. And let me see here. Let me see if I can get in here. Student resources, right? So they've got different things in here for your students. They can also pull, facts, ideas for research. This is also nice too, because if you're doing history, you've got the New Deal. So they can pull things in here that they can use in there, and they have pictures. So here's pictures. And what I've done with them is I've had them do a mixture of pictures, video, audio, because there is fireside chats in here. And so they've got the photographs, they've got the fireside chats, they have some of the newspapers, and you can add all of these into here and make then you can add your photos. Okay, also in here with the photos, once again, the nice part about this is you can upload a photo, you can take a photo. Okay, so you can have your students taking photos around the classroom, around the school. You can have them uploading photos. Same thing with the video. Okay, the video, actually, it wants to find the video for some reason. It didn't used to do that. You used to be able to, and they keep changing this on me, but you used to be able to record your video. Notice down here at the bottom is your timeline. So this shows you the timeline for the students, and this one is the credits. So it already, because I picked a theme, has this lined up with what they need for this. And see here, visit our website. So you can have them put in like the class website. And so this is a nice way of having them, see, full screen, split screen, caption. It gives them the creativity. It keeps them focused, but it gives them that creativity to use. Okay. Once again, they can still do collaborate with their fellow students, themes. You can resize it, and you can add music. Okay. And these are all music that are available to be used. Okay. They've got obviously different kinds of music. So the first thing that they give you is, if you choose Adobe Stock, then those are their photos that are the ones that are in their stock that you have to purchase, unless you choose the ones that say licensed. They also give you, you know, if you go into the photos, let me go back here. You know, so in the photos, they will give you the ones that are not copyrighted so that they're fair use. So they give you a nice selection of things that you can use. And then what you can do is, you know, you can embed your video in the page. You can embed your graphics in your page. So the three of them can either be individual, they can be together. It's up to you what you want to do with this. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is, you know, Adobe Spark for Education. All right.
Before you get into that, and I think you
Yes,
may
ma'am.
answer this question when you get in there, but we had a question about how compatible is Spark with Google? Can you create assignments for Google Classroom? And I think that's kind of where you're going. So I wanted to make sure you knew that question.
You can. I will tell you that I just started working with a school that uses Google Classroom, and I haven't made my assignment and connected it, but I know that it is connectable, and it's connectable. It's supposed to be super easy. What I can do is I will make one, because I have to do one this weekend for my students, and I will give Desiree the instructions on how to do it, so that you will have them, because I have to do them. But if I'm not mistaken, it's the embed code. You give an embed code to it from Spark to Google Classroom, but I will do a double check on that for you, okay? And make sure. But it's supposed to be super easy. And notice it integrates with, you know, Google Drive, Google Classroom, Canvas, Flipgrid. It goes to all of these. So it's nice that you can, yes, I will email it to Desiree. Okay. But the nice part about this too is, if you notice, it's project-based learning. It's easy to use. And then, you know, it works within your browser. If you're using iPads, if you're using the phone, you know, your phones, there are apps. So but the apps for this are separate. So you have a separate app for the graphics, the web page, and the video. So just so you know, if you're going to use the apps, they are each separate, but there are apps for them that you can use. Okay. The other thing they have too is, and this is always one of my go-tos. All right. Adobe has the Education Exchange. So I'm going to go here to the Spyglass, and I am going to type the word. So here are some sample projects, right? This one is one I like here, about the author. Here is a project that somebody has used or created, and they uploaded it. It's a 2 to 5 hour project, and it teaches students. They give you, it can be used with Adobe Spark or Adobe Rush. It's 4th grade to 8th grade, or 6th grade to 8th grade, I'm sorry. And they give you, the full project is a Google Doc. The student version, they give you the PDF. And so they give you the lesson. So if you're not sure how to get started, you can go to the Adobe Education Exchange, and you can type in Spark, and there are all kinds of different things. Here's the growth mindset, and this is the one actually that I'm going to use with my students next week, because this is one of the topics that we're covering next week, is the growth mindset. But so they have all kinds of different things that you can use in here. Here's a video resume. I like this one, create your own island, portfolios. So here is a wealth of information too. And like I said, you know, this is where I got the idea of the baking, cooking, math. I kind of used it with in a little different than they did, but this is where you can get all kinds of different ideas here too. And the historical portfolio, is similar to what I like to do. This is a historical artist. I like to do, it's called A Person in Time. Okay, questions?
We don't have any right now.
There's templates too. They give you templates so they can do templates. Here's one for Adobe and Flipgrid. Here's some new updates that they have just made. Here's some online lessons. So these are some of their items too that they have that'll help you out too. And notice they have here, and this is interesting because I'm in their Facebook group, artists and people out in business are now using this. So this is now not just for the classroom, people out in the business world. So now you're preparing your students not just for, I've seen kindergarten actually, Adobe, and I'll have to find the slide for you. Hold on, let me see here. Wait a minute. Adobe in the classroom, wait a minute.
So the question was, what is the youngest grade you've ever seen use Spark? And that is what she's answering right now.
It's kindergarten. They've got a slide set up, and I didn't pull it, I should have. They have a slide set up and it shows their different items, and they've got Spark for K to 5 is what they say. I use it K to 12. So they say K to 5 for Spark. You can use it K to 12. The next thing they have is Adobe Rush. Adobe Rush is the pared down version of Premiere Pro. It's a video tool. That's actually super cool. And then they say go into Premiere Pro. But I've seen kindergartners use Adobe Spark. It's really that easy because they can do, teach them with the pictures. So kindergarten can use this. So what ideas did I give you? Did I give somebody some idea to use in their classroom?
So we have Sheila that says, yes, writing prompts.
Yeah, I like the writing prompts. I also like that with the writing prompts, they can add, if you're doing the younger students and you want them to draw, that they can draw and add their pictures. If you're using the iPads or if you're using, like my computer's a touchscreen, you can also have them draw right on the screen. Student portfolios, I like the student portfolio idea on this because they can keep building on this. And with being able to do the graphics, the web page, and this is what the learning journal, I'll show you. My learning journal was with Adobe. When you become a trainer, at the end of each section of becoming a trainer, you have to do a learning journal. And that's what this is my learning journal. So workshop 1, you have to go through and you have to tell them, what was fun about it, how you're going to use it. But then you have to also do, like for number 2, I had to do a training plan or a template from the template. So this was my learning journal for that one. And now I'm trying to work on my, they have a creative educator. I don't know if you've seen the creative educator. They have a new thing going out, Adobe Creative Educator too. That is kind of cool. Oh yeah, how to teach how to solve their assigned problems. That's where I was thinking too with my math students that I have now. They have this too, the new Adobe Creative Educator. So this is something else and they give you different things here that you can use too. So they've got really building into, into their teachers. I've also seen somebody use this in the science classroom where they have to describe their labs. So instead of doing a written report, they have to do videos of their lab. So now they, instead of doing the written report, they have to put it into words and they have to video what their lab is. So it takes it out of written form and it makes them verbalize, and it works on their public speaking too.
So besides the student portfolios, we also had that one of Debbie's math teachers, and I know you kind of spoke to this, gave the students each a problem and they had to teach how to solve their assigned problem.
Yes. Yes, I think that's a great way of using it. And that way you can use both the post, the video, and you can actually make it into the web page. Or you can make a class web page out of it. Visual reports, yes. When I'm at the college, I do computer science, and one of the things I do with my students is I do an introduction to computer science class, and one of the units is my digital life. So all about, like, the different digital tools that they have. I make them do a project called My Digital Life, and what they have to do is they have to work together in a group, and they have to put together a project that shows the different things that they use in their digital life. So like I had one group one time that did travel, and the things that they used to travel that were digital. And it was, the maps, the GPS, and the different things to book their travel, and then traveling at the airport, going through the scanner. And I had another group that used Uber. I had another one that did social media. I had a group of gamers, and the gamers took it from the point of the power went out, so gaming stopped. So it's an interesting way of having them express themselves in terms of my digital life, is the way I took it. And to have each group do it based off of what they were interested in was nice. Then to see the different topics and the different things that they did. And it was kind of funny because when I started doing it, my one boss was like, you're not at the middle school anymore, because I had just started at the college. But the students, once they finished it, it was amazing because they got into it, and it made more of an impact than them sitting there watching about, all about, the digital tools. They actually had to investigate and learn about them in order to do their project.
Ruth, can you show how to get back to all of your projects and then how to share them out?
Yes, when you sign into Adobe Spark and you click the home button, all of my projects are here at the home button, or you click projects. And when I click projects, it will show all of my projects.
And then how do I share them with people?
Okay, so when you want to share them with people, like this is my logo. So I can click my logo. There's a couple of ways to share. So I click the logo, and up here on the corner, you see a button that says share. And I can publish it. I can invite somebody to collaborate, or I can send it to Google Drive. So if I click publish, now when I publish it, I can send it to Facebook, Twitter, Google Classroom, Teams, email, or I can get a link. So these are the different ways that you can publish it. So if I get a link, and this is where, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to do it to Google Classroom, but this, I want to make mine and double check it. That's how easy this should be to get it to Google Classroom.
While we're waiting on that, Debbie did have another comment, and she says she's going back to her math teacher, but using the student work to create study guides for semester exams. Students are reluctant to review study for tests, but now they are seeing their own work.
That's a great idea. Actually, you gave me an idea for my math students. That's a great idea. I introduced mine to digital notebooks, but that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. But yes, this is where you're going to share it. I don't know why my link is taking so long, but yes. Come on.
That's good to know, though. Thank you so much.
So that's where you get it. And then when I go back to projects, like here, I can go to projects. Up here, notice it's got the pencil, and this is where you can type your name in, the name of the project, right up here with the pencil. And in projects, I should also be able to share it. If you click the breadcrumbs when you're in all projects, you can share, you can duplicate, you can move it, you can rename it, you can even download it. So if you wanted to download it, because this is the graphics one, you can download it as a graphic. If you wanted to unpublish it, you can unpublish it, or obviously you can delete it. So you don't have to go into the item itself if you want to publish it, but sometimes, I like to. That's the edit, but this is the breadcrumbs where you can go there too. And notice it shows you where you see how many people have viewed it here too, which is kind of nice. And see, some of these are from when I get my certifications with Adobe. At the end of every class that you take with them, you have to do a project. So that's why you see some of these only have a few people that have viewed them, because these are the ones that I've done for my certifications. So they want to see that you're using their tools, which is kind of nice. But they've got a lot of different things in here that you can do with this. This is like, sky's the limit with this one, because there's so many different things that it does. One of the other things that I saw in the Adobe Education Exchange is do a mock Facebook or social media post for a famous person. So have them pick somebody that you're working on in class and have them do a mock Facebook or Twitter or Instagram for that person. And I think that's a great way too of having them. You're catching them where they are, is the way I put it. So they're making an Instagram or a Facebook, but they're doing it for whoever or whatever. Or you can do it for if you're art class, you can do it for famous artist. Music, you can do it for the musician. So those are a couple of the other ideas too. But there's a lot of different things that you can do with this.
All right, well, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much, Ruth, for giving us your time this Saturday. We absolutely appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, tweet me.